Oh, hello, don't mind me, just trying on some sports gear. Now welcome to a day I always look forward to. The 13th! Saturday the 13th. Yeah, well, close enough. Fittingly, let's take a look at Friday the 13th, part 3.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. Unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th. Because 13 is an unlucky number. But out here, so are 1 through 12. Because these are Jason's woods. And nobody leaves them alive. Friday the 13th, part 3. Jason, you can't fight him. You can't stop him. And now, you can't even keep him on the screen. Friday the 13th, part 3. When it comes to killing in Jason's woods, Jason will come to you. Friday the 13th, part 3. A new dimension in terror. It will scare you. Count on it.
After a quick summary of what happened in part 2, Friday the 13th part 3 continues mere moments after Jason Voorhees' climatic battle with Ginny Field. Badly wounded, Jason staggers about Crystal Lake looking for a place to hide. He doesn't do it quietly either, with a pair of bloody kills clocked up in the opening act, as Jason decides to do a little bit of shopping. Aww. Meanwhile, a new gang of young, sexy, pot-smoking teenagers are on their way, bouncing giddily on their way to stay at one of the young women Chris's old home. We've got Debbie, Andy, Shelley, Vera, Chuck and Chili. Don't worry, you won't have to remember their names long. On arriving at the house, Chris is quickly uncomfortable and startled by every noise and shadow. Turns out she's had a bit of a confrontation with Jason before, except her memory of him was of an unmasked, mutated man stumbling about the woods. There's something worth pointing out. Apart from the vision of him as a child in the first film, we haven't really seen Jason's face until this one. And oh boy, part 3 is not afraid of showing Jason in his deformed glory. In fact, it comes as a bit of a relief when he finally acquires the infamous mask, which he does so almost incidentally. There's not a huge amount of plot to concern yourself with this one. One by one, Jason slaughters the young people, eventually weaning it down to one final girl. The classic format. The characters themselves are, they're pretty forgettable, with no real time to get to know any of them before they meet their grisly demise. And you know what? That's okay. Friday the 13th part 3 is the codifying trope for this series. Brutal kills, shock moments of gore and eye-popping glory. And did you know this film was presented in 3D? Whoa! Jesus, every other scene featuring something coming at the camera. It might have been cool once, but man, now it just feels like comedy. Originally, this film was supposed to round off the series, and there's plenty of echoes in the first film to tie everything together. But this was just the beginning. My recommendation, watch this along with the sequels and a big old binge. On its own, it's kind of forgettable. Well, that's another film review for now. Relax.